Well, let's get more on this now. We're joined by Alan Orr. He's a lawyer and the first vice president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and he's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Very good to have you with us on Al Jazeera. So President Trump saying that this is to prevent children being abused, but we've heard from many others, including California's Attorney General, saying that this would actually remove protections which have been in place for children. Why do you think the president is doing this?
Well, it's a political issue at this stunt in time just because of the election coming in 2020. We don't have a wall, so what he's looking to create is brown faces in prisons across the United States to show he's tough on immigration. With regards to the safety of the children, there are a number of lawsuits that are currently pending against the different various agencies of immigration enforcement in the United States against the health conditions that they're having in these facilities. So it's absolutely positively not for that effect.
The other thing that the California Attorney General also said was that these children don't become subhuman because they're migrants. Does he have a point? You know, you're talking about Donald Trump trying to score points before an election by having brown faces behind bars. Well, a lot of these faces are genuine, legitimate asylum seekers, are they not?
They're all legitimate applicants to the United States, which are asylum seekers. You're absolutely correct. And they are children. And this is one of the faults of the Obama administration that they learned from early, that they could not detain families in these facilities. And he had a horrible outcry from the public, and they ended it towards the end of his administration. Now the Trump administration is just bringing this back. So it is bad politically. It is bad for people who are seeking to enter the United States. We don't have these type of facilities to address anyone else at any of our other ports of entry.
And as we've mentioned, you know, legal challenges are expected. What are the chances that they'll be successful, do you think?
They're very successful. This is an executive order addressing a court holding in which the court actually said this holding will end when Congress acts. And as long as the Congress has not acted, the Flores settlement will continue. But what it does is it brings this conversation back into the media, and it takes away from the deficits that's growing and all of the foreign problems that we're having in the world. And so this is really just a distraction piece.
And Mr. Orr, just one last question about the children themselves, because he's talking about definitely holding children in detention along with their parents. But what happens to the unaccompanied children? Because there are many of them. So
this is the same sort of unaccompanied. Originally, Flores was talking about unaccompanied children because that's the way it sort of started with being released to guardians or to other caretakers. So this really is about children in general as units. But what this family detention doesn't address is how many days these people are actually being detained. The government's saying it's not indefinite, it's 50 days. But actually, from my practice and my understanding, it's around 131 days that people are actually being detained, that these families are. And it's very expensive to do this, which is funding private prisons and basically another profit area. So the unaccompanied children are still going to be treated the same, and they will still be processed through the system and either released to guardians or to some other healthcare systems in the United States.
Mr. Orr, thank you very much for your time and your expertise on this. We do appreciate it. That is Alan Orr, live in Washington, D.C. Thank you.